Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to City Skylines Parklife. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day because I'm certainly excited to be back in the beautiful city of Nerdcrest, where things are going pretty well, other than the massive death wave that kicks in every 30 minutes. It's a thing. I don't know why it's a thing, but every 30 minutes in Nerdcrest, the population goes from like 85,000 to 35,000. Not 85,000, like 35,000. Just so we're clear, it's not like that bad. It's still bad though. And I don't know why it happens. And I'm thinking at the moment it might be an idea to look into maybe using Demand Master for the rest of this series, just so that we don't have to deal with the entire city, like, deconstructing and having to rebuild. I don't know. I'm just gonna float the idea out there a little bit and see if it sinks or if it swims. I'm gonna leave it up to all of you in the comments. But, much like last time, there have been some changes this time. You can see some of them in the background a little bit. We have an airplane hangar and some planes just sat here. My idea is basically that Nerdcrest International is sort of like, it's not necessarily like the headquarters, the main airport for CS Airlines here, but they do have like a little maintenance hangar back here. They've got a small jet, or I'm sorry, a medium-sized jet in there, and then oh no, that is a small one. They have a small one and a medium one in the back. And I think it looks kind of neat. I think it's kind of cool having this down here. It fills up the space really nicely. And we do also have the fire helicopter depot down here as well as some road connections so that service vehicles can get through here as well, which is kind of neat and kind of weird because they just drive across the runway. I was going to have like tunnels going under the runways, but it just didn't look very good. So I decided they'd just drive straight across because this isn't supposed to be a Let's Build series style thing at this point, but with the amount of money that we get and with the population, and it's walking a weird line right now. Nerdcrest is walking a really weird line. But we do have the fire helicopter depot here, and what I've done with this is I used Prop It Up to go to this building and basically take out things like fences and trees. And I've actually done the same thing with the police and the medical helicopter depots as well, so that they are fairly basic looking assets, and I've surrounded them with the network walls as well. And I just think it looks neat. I think it looks kind of cool, and I've also put the sort of barriers here for this open area in the middle. I don't have anything to do with that area. I don't know what I would do with that area, but I'm sure I'll figure something out at some point. I've also got the painter mod, which lets me like recolor the building in ridiculous ways. I don't really do much with this other than sort of darken down assets a little bit. For example, this one over here could be a teensy little bit darker as well. And I think I also, I recolored the airport itself so there's like these big orange bits on it, because I thought, you know, Nerdcrest and ConflictNerd and blah, 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 that has to be orange, right? That's just the way it has to be. I think I also darkened this building a little bit, and I turned this one into like this teal sort of bluish green color. I changed these guys a little bit as well. I've just been having some fun with some different mods that I've never really tried before, so that's pretty much what I've been doing between episodes. I did also do a little bit of detailing around the city. I also made that bright orange as well, because of course I did. But I decided to just get the sort of concrete gravel decals under a lot of the monorail track, as you can see along here. I also made some sort of green areas with walls. Same over here, a bit more gravel. And then sort of a parking area here, just because I figured, you know, why not? What else did I do? Oh, I also revisited the government island. We're not going to go there. We're not going to get into that conversation, but I've pretty much finished it at this point. So I'll walk you through it. You come over here, you hit the roundabout, and immediately there is a software development studio. If you want that to be a software development studio, you let that be a software development studio. For me, it's whatever it is, all right? I just thought it was a really good looking building to have right in the middle of the roundabout. I used Move It to center it, and then I used the surface painter to get the concrete in there, and I think it looks really, really good. I think it looks really, really good right there. Moving along, I adjusted the parks a little bit. Still a bit of awkward green space in the middle, but I think it looks okay. Coming up here, I actually took out the high schools and replaced them with medical laboratories because I just think they look a little better. The high schools are kind of weird buildings. I mean, these are weird buildings as well, but the medical lab I just think looks a lot better. It also looks really like, looks evil like that, doesn't it? Let's just keep it as it is. But yeah, I thought the medical lab sort of looked the part. I went ahead and took a lot of the stuff off of the Modern Technology Institute, actually. So any trees, any fences, all that stuff, they're all gone and replaced with the open grass areas and the network walls. I did actually go in and detail a lot of these spaces that are now empty, but unfortunately, it didn't save. I don't know why. I'll go ahead and do that again at some point in the near future. I think I also darkened these buildings down a little bit, although I'm not 100% sure. You can also see we have a metro station right in front of the central building. That's actually the only metro station that comes out to this island, and it connects up just over here, so it will link back to the center as well, which I think is kind of neat. We come around, we have another medical lab, and we actually have a couple of crypto preservatories, whatever they are. They're crematoriums, essentially. They're just slightly fancier. And I thought they were nice to have in the back there. They'll actually sort of deal with any death on the island more directly than normal crematoriums would over here. And I thought these just looked better than crematoriums as well, so we've got those in the back. We come around, we have the tax office, which is a little bit darker than default. We come around again, we have the software thing, and then the statue of the Colossalus. So basically, that's the government island. There is a little bit of additional detailing. For example, in here we have some tables, we have some little chairs, we have some lights, a couple more chairs there. I think I've done that in a couple of other spots, maybe. I don't remember. I was meaning to. We'll say that. I was planning on adding in more chairs and tables and stuff like that. Ah, there you go. Couple of little chairs there if you want to sit and like look out over the water and the bridge. You can totally do that. Obviously, no one can get there, but that's the thing that you can totally do if you want to do. There is also this, which might be really, really familiar looking to some of you that have been around to the channel for a while and seen some of my previous work in City Skylines. This isn't Castle Rock. Don't worry, we're not like back in Emerald County, but this is a castle that I decided to build up on the hill, sort of overlooking the water, and you can see the city from here. We actually do have some roads that sort of come around this way as well, and we actually have a walking tour that goes up this path, so you will actually see people going up there from time to time, which I think is really, really cool. We also have some parking spots, so tourists can drive up here, as well as some restrooms in case they need to, you know, go to a restroom for whatever reason they might have for going to a restroom. I just thought this looked really, really good. I really like the look of the castle just up on the hill, able to overlook pretty much everything. I thought it was a really, really cool look, and I thought it, you know, tied in nicely to this road that we have going up and over the hill, which I've actually wanted to do for a while. There's sort of this natural little, like, valley right here that I thought, I saw it a while ago. I saw it, like, 5 episodes ago, and I thought, oh, that's perfect. I've got to get a road there. So I decided to do just that and have it connect to this avenue that comes off the highway over here. You can also see I expanded out some of the district here. This is all, I should say, this was mostly just busy work. I know that there will be a little bit of annoyance that I didn't do it in a video. This was all done over 6 hours. You know, this was busy work, little bits of intricate detailing, little bits of tedium here and there. You know, like all the trees here were hand placed. I was using Move It for 30 minutes to get this thing as close to central as I could get it. it was just tedium and busy work and nothing horrendously exciting. And I thought it would be easier to just sort of recap it rather than time-lapse it, because it wouldn't have been a coherent time-lapse. I was all over the place, and it was, like I said, just a lot of busy work. With that said, I did live stream it, so if you want to head over to my Twitch channel, the VOD should be there, at least for like 25 to 30 days after this video goes out. It might not be watchable. I was listening to music the whole time. Just be aware of that. But if you do, in future, want to see the process, come along to the live streams. They're a bunch of fun, and I can wholly recommend it. I've actually got a really cool PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds project in City Skylines that I want to start up really soon. So if you want to see that, just keep an eye out for the Hey I'm Live, or follow me on Twitter, or follow me on Twitch. Now, with that out of the way, let's actually get to doing some work today. Oh, hey, Daft Punk's playing in the city at the minute. Nice. All right. You guys have a good time. Enjoy the show. I also realized that the gravel texture being changed makes this area look a bit weird, but... well, that's just... oh, it looks really weird, man. It doesn't look like a campsite anymore. It looks really, really strange. You know, I might actually remove this whole thing. I've been thinking about it for a little bit. Because maybe having the festival site, you know, way out here or something like that might be a better idea. Put it down by the coast and turn this into like a low-density tourist area. Speaking of which, I do want to get like a park the whole way along this beach, and that'll probably end up being an amusement park. I know people have been kind of keen for that. We might do that a little bit later in this episode. But what I think I'm going to do is I am going to go in, I am going to remove all the festival area. And I know I spent a while building this, but I feel like we'd have a better time if we put a stadium out here. Because I kind of really like the idea of getting a stadium out here. Especially since the World Cup's going at the moment. It just seems like it would make sense. You know? It just seems like it would be a good idea. It's good timing. Let's get ourselves a stadium. I'm gonna have to go in here and individually bulldoze all of those buildings, aren't I? Oh boy. Yes, I am. Alright. Well, this shouldn't take too long to do. And like I said, I think... excuse me. I think a stadium could be really good. It's still gonna attract tourists. It's still gonna have events. It's still gonna, you know, be a thing. It's just not a festival, and it's not, like, right off of one of the most urban areas of the city. You know? I think it makes more sense to have a stadium out here than it does to have some kind of festival. I'm also gonna take all of the trees off of this island, because I'm kind of thinking that alongside the stadium, I kind of want to make like a business park in a way, because when I was in London, I don't know exactly when this was, but near the Olympic, was it the Olympic Stadium? Near a stadium in London, at least. I don't remember which one it was exactly. There was very much a business park. There were warehouses and offices and things like that. So I think it could be really cool to get an interesting looking business park out by the stadium. I'm also thinking that the hot air balloon tours are going to have to go for a little while, which is unfortunate, but just the way of it. Now let's see here. This can also go. And let's take a look and see what size these stadiums are, because I hadn't thought about this. So we have the regular little football stadium. We have the Juventus Stadium. We have Stamford Bridge. We have Camp Nou, or the New Camp, which is probably the one we'll go for because it's the most interesting looking one. And we have this one, which is also kind of neat. I kind of like it. It's a pretty cool looking stadium. This one, I want to look at the previews of them. That one's obviously going to say FC Barcelona inside. That's Chelsea's stadium. That is obviously Juventus. That's the normal one. Who plays here? Okay, Paris something. Paris and oh, okay, never mind. Do I want to go with this? I think we could go with this one. I'd say it's unlikely this is going to be placed like right on the main road though, isn't it? This would be placed like off of the main road. So let's try and figure out what we were going to do this. I think I want the stadium sort of being relatively close to the water. So if we go in here, what we can do is we can use... I think this large avenue of bus lanes could be an idea. Let's also turn off the road guidelines so I can do this whatever way I want to do it. And let's also flatten the land a little bit, just so that this actually works, again, the way I want it to. So I want the land to all sort of be this height. And I will smooth it back out, don't worry. We'll probably get some, you know, beaches in here again and all that stuff, but I want the area to be smooth just to start with. So just like that. We'll go to here. We'll go 10 that way, and 10 that way, and 10 that way, so we can see our midpoint. And the question becomes, will the stadium go central? It will. Okay, well that's fantastic news, because if it didn't go central, that would be really, really awkward. And I actually really like that. I think that looks kind of neat right there at the end. It's not a huge stadium, but it'll certainly do the job. So I think my question is, I wonder, can I get like... No, I don't think I need to take the footprint out of it. I was thinking I'd try and take the concrete from underneath it, but I actually really don't need to do that. I have an idea for how I can make that work. What I would like to do, though, is just raise the terrain up around it a little bit more. So something like that. Let's try and just go straight. So grab that height and go straight across like that. Go straight across like that. And one more time straight across like that-ish. Now the reason I did that is because I want to try and get a key along the back of that. So we'll do that in a little bit. And the reason I went with the bus roads here is because it seems like it would make sense to have some bus lines going up and down there. So let's stick with that for the time being. This can actually run straight into that road, which is great news. So we'll do that. And I'm kind of thinking I really want to try and double up the roads in a way. So if we were to use these normal sort of paved 2-lane plain straights, we could go like that. We could go like that with a little bit of anarchy. And we could go like this, up to there, and up to there. And then I think all of our parking lots could be on those little roads. And we could have connections through, so something like this, something like this. And that's going to give us room to put parking and then put some nice detail along that road. So I think that'll look really good. I think that'll look really, really good. I do think, you know, it might actually be an idea to not have this connect to the main road. That might be better, so that we don't have a situation where, you know, there's too many junctions on the main road there. So I think we'll try and avoid that. What I will do is just this sort of thing to get those roads all connecting properly, and yeah, I think that's going to be the way to do it there. All right, let me get the road layout basically done here. So you go out there, you go out there. And we're probably gonna need to get rid of the bridge. Just for the time being. I also didn't realize people parked on the bridge. Interesting. Okay, fair enough. Ooh! Oh, I forgot I had these roads. Oh, I totally forgot I had these roads. Oh, I'm so excited about these. Look at these. Oh, wait a minute. Well, that didn't exactly work out. They are a completely different color to what I want them to be as well. But they technically have parking on them. They technically have, like, pre-built parking space at the side. I just need to get the decals for it. Oh, we're totally coming back to that. These roads also have parking right now. We are totally coming back to those, though. Like, 100%. We'll keep the bus lanes for the time being, I think. Just so people aren't parking in that main road. And what I think I'll also do is we'll just raise this land up a little bit. And raise this land up a little bit too. Because we are going to need to extend this road out a little bit. So out to about there. Gonna need to... Wait, what kind of road is that supposed to be? That is supposed to just be that, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so. So let's just see if we can get you to go to there. I don't know why you suddenly decided you're going to be a bridge. Let's have you not doing that. You're going to be forced onto the ground. There you go. And then this one is going to come all the way down to here and run into that one. So there we go. Now that's a lot of parking space, and it is on a bit of a weird angle, but I kind of like that. Alrighty, so thus far, this is what we're looking at. We've got our keys in, we've got our parking in. I haven't done any of the detailing around the edges yet, but that's totally fine. We will be doing that in just a little bit. What I want to go ahead and do, actually, is I want to start smoothing out the land here to try and make this just look a little bit nicer. Because right now, it's a little too sharp for my liking, so we're just going to start smoothing a lot of this out. A lot of the land is just going to be turned into a nice, gentle slope. Some of the island will, you know, fall into the water, but that's kind of okay. I'm totally okay with that. I do want to take out some of that beach, though. I don't want any sand up on top of the keys where possible, so I don't mind it right on the edge there. I just don't want it, you know, kind of way, way up there. So that's fine. What we have there is totally fine. I'm also thinking it might be an idea to select the keys and just say that we want to make sure they're the same height as the stadium. So just like that. Just so that everything's nice and flat there. And what I'm thinking we could probably do is we could probably get some little buildings in beside the stadium or some parking lots beside the stadium if we really wanted to. I kind of like the idea of buildings or like service areas or like, you know, where the teams go when they're, I don't know. I like the idea of having something around there. I think it kind of makes sense because right now it is just the stadium. There's nothing else there. And I mean, if we have a look at some of the other ones, I mean, the other ones aren't going to fit for one. At least I don't think they are. No, the other stadiums aren't actually going to fit. This one, nah, it's not going to fit. Yeah. Basically, this is the only stadium that's going to fit in here. I've actually gone with pretty much the smallest stadium I could have gone with, which probably not an amazing idea, to be honest. But I think it looks all right. I think it'll be good to have there. So let's start looking at these areas back here. Because I have a couple of very specific ideas for it. Number one, we are going to stick to using these little sort of standard paved roads, and I am probably going to want to turn off the grid snapping just so it doesn't snap to the keys there. I do want to try and bring it across like that, though, because what I'm thinking we can do with that is we can go ahead and just sort of have traffic that does move along the back of the stadium a little bit. So if I bring this road down ever so slightly and just try and get the height of it to be exactly where I want it to be, traffic can move along the back of the stadium. And if I limit that to commercial traffic or whatever, then that's absolutely perfect. Now, in terms of buildings that we can put in here, I mean, we have the sightseeing bus depot. Honestly, a bus depot is probably not a terrible building, now that I think about it, because really, like, the teams are going to need somewhere to put their buses, right? So why don't we make the argument that instead of just putting them in a parking lot, they put them in a depot, or they put them in a garage, so that they're protected. I think that could be a neat idea. So we'll do that. And I think what we'll do is maybe bring a little bit of a road off here. And probably want to just move that up closer to the depot in a second, but we'll not worry too much just yet. Let's take the road up behind it as well. And I do want to put a couple of parking lots on that road. So there and there possibly, if I can get away with it. I can't really get away with that, but I think I can use a little bit and move it to help myself get away with that. So just move all this. Oh, no. Deselect that one. Let's just move all of this in a little bit. And then we want to deselect you and you. And just move these two up a little bit. And then I think that node just needs to come down a little bit. So that should be fine. This could probably be moved along a little bit as well. And I think we're probably just going to need to bulldoze that one, unfortunately. And I guess if the road goes to there, yeah, that should be fine. Let's just redo that section of road. Let's just redo that entire bit of road, actually, because it's a little bit messy. So what we'll do is bring a road to there. And we'll just put a couple of little parking lots there, 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 and there. And then shuffle those so that they're a little closer to this road. And there we go. That seems fine to me. That seems fine to me. Like a little bit of team parking or whatever you want it to be. I think that's pretty much what this is supposed to, well, be. I like it. I do like it. I'm wondering, everything is the same height. That's good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the terrain painter, just on a bit of a smaller size there. I'm just going to paint. Oh, I don't like that it completely overwrites the way the road works there, but I guess we'll just do this sort of thing, bring it down to here, and I'm going to take it over there as well. So it's going to be right up against the key. So this whole space is going to be painted, and I will try and get some greenery in here. I'll try and get, you know, some nice bits of, some nice trees in there. We'll probably try and do some trees in that corner just to hide the crimes. But that's kind of what I want to do with this whole area. I want to pave it. I want to get some decoration in there. And I want it to kind of look, well, good. So I think back here could maybe be one spot for a little bit of decoration. So if we go ahead and turn off the road guidelines, and if we maybe turn off road length, possibly. I think road length's probably fine. But what we can do is start here, go to there, go up to there, and down to there. And what we need to do is just extend this down. So we'll try and get it in line with the parking lot. Move this node across. Move this node across. Get this one in line with the back of the sightseeing bus depot, which it very nearly is. I think that's it in line now. And then this one just needs to be curved to follow the shape of the key. So let's see if that's the thing we can do. So select this, and that actually wound up being a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. There we go. So now we have this nicely laid out space, which we can put some trees into, put some greenery into, and just make it look like a really nice area. Can I deselect that? Yes, I can. And I can say that I want all of those nodes to be that height. There we go. So I can put some grass in there, make it look nice. I want to do the same thing down here as well. So let's go ahead and just paint out a... you know what, let's just do a nice square. And then all I need to do is get these guys to be in line with there. Get these guys to be... Come on, let me select them. In line over here. I think just about like that. Maybe a little further that way. And then these top ones just need to be a little bit closer to the parking lot. So just like that. And that's perfect. Okay, once again, we'll just get some nice trees in there and make it look all pretty like. Okay, this took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. This was quite tedious to do, but we have the parking lots done. We have the buildings back here all done. We have decals in so that people can clearly see where they're going to be driving. Not that that's why the decals are there. Those are just to add detail to the area. But the area, for the most part, is sort of done. And I think it looks kind of neat. There is one little change I need to make, though, which is that I need to stop people from parking on all of these surrounding roads, because they're not supposed to be doing that. They are supposed to be using the parking lots. So let's just make sure that people are actually going to be using those parking lots and not the little roads that surround the parking lots. So there we go, I believe. Gonna do the same thing in here just to make sure that it carries over. And in here and in there as well. I'll not bother putting that in on the main road there. I don't think there's much point. But I think this area actually looks kind of neat. I think it serves the purpose. All we need to do at this point is put in some detail into these green spaces and maybe just get some like barricades or something to make it look like these areas are closed off for whatever purpose. For whatever reason, the ploppable asphalt assets that I have aren't working, so I have to keep using these sort of gravelly, rough textures. I kind of like them, I kind of don't. I'm not too worried if I have to use those or not. It's just the way it is, I suppose. Anyway, let's go ahead and just take out some of these pipes and see if we can make this area look a little neater with those. So this is going to go straight down there. This one is going to go... Let's see, can I get grid snapping back on, please? There we go. This one's going to go there, just like that. And we'll just adjust this pipe as well, because I want them to go straight underneath the roads. So, about there, I think? Yeah. So right about there is kind of where we want them to go. So let's just bulldoze those bits so that I can get this to go properly. There we go. And this one is going to go from there down to there. And that's looking pretty good to me. Let's just bulldoze you guys. Go straight across there. And then around behind the stadium just to finish it off. And I guess down through the middle isn't going to hurt either. There we go. So that entire area has water. It doesn't yet have power, which is going to be a whole nother thing. I'm also thinking that maybe we want to get a highway connection in here. That's just going to be a little bit tricky because I don't want to put too much traffic on this bridge. You know, the point of this bridge isn't to, I realize people are still parking on that bridge. The point of this bridge isn't to be a main way into the city. It's supposed to be a connection to this island, but I don't know. I kind of like the idea. What if we were to go for something relatively simple? So if I was to say take out all of those sections of road there, and we'll go ahead and put in, let's just start using some normal road for this so I can measure it a little easier. If we go 10 there, and we go and turn on guidelines, actually we'll not bother with guidelines, we'll just do it this way. We go 10 there. I then want to go in 10 and down to the ground plays. So down to there, obviously looks a bit weird, but that's fine. Let's do a, let's see, does that actually line up? You know what, we're going to need to do that again. So you go from there and down to the ground. And then what I want to do is grab one of these large avenues. And that gives me a 4. Let me go 5 there. And 5 there. And then disconnect those. And that's going to be our little section of road to connect to, I think. I think that'll work out. So let's bring the highway right up to the edge of that. And then, so what are we looking at there? 780. Okay. So from there, we want to go 780 worth. And to there, we want to go 780 or 800 worth, I guess. That's fine. Sure. That'll work out. Let me just select all of those nodes. Let me just not select the segments. So select the nodes. Every single one of them, please. Let's just do it this way because it's a little bit easier. And I want those all to be the same height as that one. Now, there's our problem. This whole thing, this entire stretch of road here, is going to need to be that height. So it is going to need to sink down, but that actually looks okay. I kind of like that. I think that looks quite neat. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go with one-way roads. And I want a one-way road, maybe... Oh, this is going to need extended even further. Let's go 3 there and 3 there. So a one-way road coming off of here, going up whatever height it needs to go up, I guess up to there. I guess I can make it even, can't I? It doesn't actually matter what height this goes up to, because I can just make them all go up to the same height. So just as long as it's elevated, it's fine. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very basic setup. Obviously not going to be super efficient, but I'm hoping that what'll happen is that we're not actually going to have that much traffic coming in here, and we might need to use an old town policy to do that. And I'm kind of okay with that. I don't mind using an old town policy to do that. I'm just sort of aware that we might need to use an old town policy to do that. Anyway, let's see if we can make this perfectly even. So let me go 340 there and in. 340 there and in. This is going to need extended considerably. So this is going to go 340 and not that way. I want to go 340 and in, and 340 and in. And that's pretty much the point that I want this connecting to. I don't want it to be a super long slope up to everything. So just doing it this way gives us, admittedly, a little bit of a sharp bend there. But I think that's probably better than just having this whole thing go on for ages, especially since we have this bridge here. So what we'll do is select all of the little nodes here and make sure that they are all the same height as that bit, which they all are. Perfect. So yeah, little bit of a sharp bend, not too worried about that. Let's just go ahead and make sure the highway is all facing the correct direction, which again it is. And let's just select all of the nodes in that area and make sure that they are all the same height as the bridge. So there we go. They are in fact all the same height as the bridge. Fantastic. All right, I like it. I think that will, I think that'll do the job. It might not be super efficient. It might be terrible, but it'll do the job for the time being. So let's go to this side. Let's just extend out to there and extend out to there and just get these highways connected again. So like that and like that. Okay, let's upgrade them. Nice and quick like. And there we go. So that will be some kind of connection for this area. I'm wondering, do we need to do any changing to this? I guess lane management wise, we don't want traffic using this as a way to go straight across. So you are left only, you are right only, left only, right only. And then I guess you could sort of cut across that way so that traffic isn't necessarily going to be overlapping. And you could sort of do the same thing so that traffic doesn't overlap too much. We'll let them sort of merge whatever way they want to merge. That might very well end up being a bit of a pain in the butt, but that's just going to be the way of it. That's City Skylines traffic. So this can go straight across as well. And you can go straight across as well. And this little road is actually going to be super useful because it means that we can sort of have it curved down here and we can have our industrial office space thing over there if we want to. Which is great news. The only thing I regret is that I didn't line this up with this road because, well, this is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt. Let's see here. So this would need, yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be all sorts of fun right here. How am I going to connect that? I really didn't think about it, did I? Really didn't think about this. What if we did something dumb? What if we do something dumb? So if I turn off road guidelines real quick and we go 4-lane road, like this. So, whole way along there. Connect out like that. And have it connect. I guess this needs to go further. Have it connect, say, there. So it comes in. What we can do is literally just have like this weird connection thing. So you go there and I don't know. I don't know what way to necessarily measure this out, but something like that. Something, I guess, there and there-ish. And we can literally just have this lead like that. Ooh, that's horrible looking. You get the idea though, right? Like this could maybe be a thing. Maybe. It is admittedly quite hideous. But I think it kind of works. Sort of. It almost works. It is, I mean, it's not the prettiest intersection in the world, but it's definitely a unique looking intersection. It's got that going for it. So, I think I'll do that. I think that's perfectly acceptable, right? That's perfectly acceptable. Let's just have the traffic go straight across so that it's not doing weird things here. And I could probably pave that and turn it into like an interesting looking area. That's what we'll do with it. This is going to be turned into an interesting looking, I don't know, plaza thing or something or other. I don't know what. It looks hideous, but it's a solution for the time being. I just spent 90 minutes tediously putting all of this together. And then I did this. And then I did this. Oh, I feel like that was, I feel like this needs something else is what this needs. Hold on. This is not staying. This is not staying. I spent 90 minutes tediously putting that together. I'm not having this hideous thing. Just connect like that. So it's not a perfectly straight connection. It's not a perfectly straight road. It's not a perfect grid. But it is at least better than what I had before. Alrighty, so the road layout around here is sort of coming together, which I'm quite happy about. I've decided to put the good old aquarium up here because I thought that might actually be kind of a neat idea if we have like the aquarium out there as well as the Expo Center. I just don't know exactly where the Expo Center is going to go. It's probably going to end up like over here in one way or another, or I was thinking sort of there. And I actually think, you know what, that actually looks pretty good. I kind of like the Expo Center there, so I think that's probably where that's going to go. So let's raise the terrain just a little bit around that so that it actually has a bit of land to it. And we can maybe do some parking lots around that. I'm not really sure. I don't want to go too crazy with just parking lots everywhere on this island, but I'm kind of sold on the idea that this island is very, like, it's very touristy, isn't it? Like, that's kind of where we're going with it. It's very much like an event island, you know? There's the Expo Center, there's the aquarium, there's the stadium. It's, that's kind of why I'm doing so much detail on it, you know? I want it to very intentionally look like, hey, there's something going on here. You've got the aquarium, you've got the expo, you've got the stadium, you've got whatever else you could put in here. Freight terminal storage. Huh. I've been looking for this. I've been looking for this asset. This could actually be really useful over in the airport if it doesn't look terrible. I don't know why it's orange. I'm not really sure why that's orange. I'm wondering, has that by chance grabbed the color of that or something else? Oh. Wait, no. No. Why is that bright orange then? That's odd. It looks kind of neat over here at the airport though. It kind of looks the part. I think it could look kind of good maybe over this way. If I could somehow get it in over there, but I think for the time being, I'm just gonna delete that because we don't really need it. I've just sort of I've been looking for it, you know? I've been trying to figure out where it is. But what else have we got in here? I mean, we've got things like the Modern Art Museum. We have this stadium thing, which is a bit weird. We have, of course, got the Cathedral of Plentitude, which is a lot bigger than I remember it being. Oh, you know what? The Cathedral of Plentitude could look really good there, just where the Expo Center is. I never thought I'd say those words, by the way. Never thought I'd say the words, the Cathedral of Plentitude could look really good there, but it actually looks kind of neat down there, like right towards the end of the island and like way, way out there. I think that's pretty cool. I also like that it's, you know, from the stadium, you're going to come out and just see this cathedral thing over there behind the aquarium. I think what I'm going to do with the Expo Center as well is I'm going to move it onto a road here. So I'm going to turn it 90 degrees so it's more like that. Because I kind of, for one, like it overhanging the road, and for two, much prefer it at that angle. Actually, I think I'd like to turn it around a little bit. So let's just move this road down to here and have the Expo Center on that road instead. Yeah, I think that's a little better. So you come along the highway and you kind of get this big view of the Expo Center and then everything there. It does ever so slightly block the view of the cathedral, but that's kind of why we've got this space in front. So if you want to view the cathedral, you have like a little park thing in front of it. So I think that'll work. I think that'll work for the Expo Center. I do like the idea of getting some parking in here, and that is kind of gonna be necessary. It kind of makes sense for the area. So we are gonna have a road going like that. We are gonna have a road going like that, and maybe, you know what? Maybe I will just connect these roads together. That might not be a terrible idea. Just have that go to there. And then bulldoze that bit. I think that kind of works. It's an easy way to get roads around this thing. It's gonna let traffic circle around it as well. It's gonna let me get parking lots in there. That's probably for the best. And if we connect straight across like this and straight across like that, we can actually get a really good bend on that, but I think I kind of prefer the straight edge corner there, so that totally works for me. Let's just get some of these trees off the road, and you'll notice, by the way, these are both on a one-way road that comes off over here. That's very much intentional. I want traffic that's like going to these things specifically to have a road to go on to specifically. So that's what that's all about. Obviously, the parking lot roads will sort of make, you know, it'll invalidate that a little bit, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. What else could we put out here, though? I think we're getting close to overdoing it on structures and buildings, but I think this space and this space both need something. I guess we could throw in things like the intelligence agency. I know we already have one of these, but it's not a bad looking building. It's a little more urban than the rest of the area, but I think that's kind of cool. I kind of like the idea that we have something a little more urban than the rest of the area. I think we could maybe throw out the medical laboratory as well. Just again, to give something a little bit more urban to the area, make it look a little more business park-like. I kind of like it. I think that's quite cool. We could bring this road back here, actually. And then move the intelligence agency ever so slightly. And then have the medical lab be on that little road. Yeah, I like that a lot more. It fills up the space closer to the highway, and I think it just looks better. Man, I do apologize if you were purely looking for like regular old Let's Play from Parklife, but man, I'm really enjoying the the build stuff again. It's been so long. It's been so long since I got to just sit down and build stuff. I like that though. I think that looks quite neat. Plus it'll serve the purpose for getting some decent medical coverage out onto this island. Now let me just raise these roads a little bit so the slopes are a bit more gentle. And so that that doesn't look all weird. I think we could probably also go ahead and just smooth this out a little bit. There we go. I think that looks neat. I do think that looks neat. I still want more buildings in here, though. I'm still not done with this space. What else have we got? I mean, we've already got a sightseeing bus depot out here. We could go for a regular bus depot or the biofuel bus depot. Those are definitely options, but those are a little too industrial for my liking. A large bus stop would be cool, but I don't know if I want that either. I guess a metro station would make sense. Although it would probably make sense like up here in one of these corners that I've already sort of blocked off, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we just have buses coming out here, or maybe the metro goes over here or something. Actually, a metro around this island could be really cool. That could be a really neat idea. I might look into that for the future, though. I don't think that's something I want to do yet, because I want to figure out where exactly all the buildings would go on a metro around the island. The Modern Art Museum, definitely not going to work. The Theatre of Wonders would be a beautiful building to have right on the coastline. It would be an absolutely beautiful building to have on the coastline. The Electric Car Factory, unfortunately, looks like a factory. The Research Center is a bit too weird of a building. I might have to do some digging on the Steam Workshop to figure out what exactly we're putting in here. But this is definitely coming together. This is definitely coming together. Alrighty, so as unfinished as this all is, I am going to go ahead and leave it there for today. This whole process has taken a very long time, a lot longer than I thought it would. Again, I know most of it has been cut out of the video, some parts of it might have been sped up, I don't know what way this is going to be edited, but this is actually turning out a lot better than I thought it would. I kind of have some big ideas for it. I think getting some really good detailing in here is going to be a really good idea. We have this little park area sort of coming together. I do need to get the keys around behind this, I think, and maybe take those rocks out. but I'm genuinely really pleased with how this is actually coming together. I'm really glad that we've got a stadium in here. I think that's a much better use of that space as opposed to the festival thing. I think having some things like the Expo Center and the aquarium out here, as well as the Cathedral of Plentitude, I just think it looks good. I really like the idea of having this island sort of be, you know, the event island. And in my mind, eventually it's going to look somewhat similar to the government island in the sense it's going to have, you know, a lot of trees on it. It's going to look nice and, I guess the word I'm looking for is lush, I guess. It's a weird word. I don't think I've ever used it unironically, but that's kind of what I'm thinking this island could end up looking like. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you kindly for watching. It's been my pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.